Bom dia, boa tarde, boa noite, or whatever the case may be. My name is Marcus, and I am the host of the Black Brazil Today YouTube channel, as well as the blackbraziltoday.com blog, where I analyze Brazil from the perspective of race. Today I wanted to react to a video I came across either yesterday or the day before, and it kind of hit me, just watching what was going on in the screen. You know, facial expressions and the way people talk can tell you a lot about, how they see things, what they've experienced. And just the whole scene of the video, it spoke volumes to me in terms of everything that I talk about on this YouTube channel, as well as the blackbraziltoday.com blog. So what we have here today is a Instagram influencer who created an Instagram channel where she's featuring herself, her family, and particularly her grandmother. Now, the dynamics that are playing out in this video is that she's apparently, well, she said she is the granddaughter of a Black grandmother. Okay. So the young lady that's presenting the video, I don't know how old she is. She might be mid 20s. I don't know. She could be from her mid 20s to her early 30s. I'm not sure how old she is, but she's a fair skinned woman. And from how I see her, I would think that people, whether she's in Brazil or the United States, I think people would, if she was in Brazil, she might be considered white or at least a mestizo, somebody who's mixed. Because I look at her and I say, okay, I don't see a white person. But as I've said in past videos, I'm beyond the point where I can consider all mixed people to be Black, because a lot of times they're simply not. I'll keep saying that there is a percentage of what they call pardos, brown or mixed people in Brazil who are Black, but there's a percentage that is also not Black. This girl is fair. Her skin color is light skin. So after two generations, she's very typical in how she looks in terms of how Brazilians look. If she were to be in the United States, people would probably physically would consider her a Latina. As I'm saying, in Brazil, she might be considered white, but I would think she's probably considered parda or mixed, right? Now, the dynamics that's going on in this video, it's a lot to talk about. And I like the video because it showed so much without even saying so much. And then the comments that people left about the video, it just proves everything that I talk about on this channel all the time. You're going to see this as I go through it. And some of the details that I'm going to point out are things that are going to be, things you're going to be familiar with if you followed this channel for a while. So today's video is called Your Beautiful Grandma. Young woman tries to convince Black grandmother that she's pretty after years of her suffering racist trauma. The title says it all, but the devil is in the details. So these little subtleties, and sometimes not even subtleties, these are things that are sometimes blatant if you know what you're looking for. So before I get into this video, definitely like this video, share this video, subscribe to the channel, click on the notification bell. So let's get into this, because there's so much to unpack in this video, and I hope I can remember, as I go, how many things I want to point out here, because a lot of this stuff you're going to be familiar with, again, as if you followed this channel and the blog for some time. So let's check it out. Okay, so this is a young lady. I think her name is Monique, or Monique, as they would say in Brazil, and this is her grandmother. I mean, I don't know. Before I even get into the video, I mean, what do these pictures say to you, just from the expressions that you're seeing on her grandmother's face? What do you think is going on here? All right. So let me get into it. Let me just introduce what's going on here. The traumas that you feel when you watch the video, and I'm not going to do a pure translation. I'm going to translate some of it and then just kind of tell you what they're talking about in the video. This video smacks of how Brazil has always treated its Black population. You go to blackbraziltoday.com blog, people share the traumas, they share the experiences that they've had growing up in Brazil as Black people. And again, how is it that Brazil skated under the radar for so long of being this country that makes its Black people feel like they're not equal to everybody else? A lot of this, when you see the grandmother's facial expressions and how she reacts to what's going on, you see this, it comes across very clear, how Brazil treats its Black population. Go to blackbraziltoday.com, just read some of the articles there. You'll get a feel of what I'm talking about. The granddaughter clearly sees the destruction of the self-esteem of this particular Black woman, but this speaks to all Black Brazilians. Brazilian society treats the population this way to where they feel like they're inferior, they have less value than everybody else, less capable than everybody else. And you until uh, people who are treated this way are able to break these shackles on their capacity as people, you know, they'll not only will the society continue to try to hold that population in a certain spot, the population itself will help because the self-esteem of the people has been diminished today. They feel like they're not as worthy as other people. All right. The video you're going to see, and I looked at the young lady's YouTube or Instagram channel, and it speaks again of this embranquecimento that goes on in Brazil every day. You see it right here, from the dark brown skinned woman to the light skinned mestiza, almost white. I mean, yeah, you can clearly see this woman is not white. She still has some traces of mixture in her appearance, but I'm saying, from what I see, the relationship she's in is with a white guy. So we can just imagine what her child is going to look like. I'm not sure, because I saw a picture on her Instagram of a child, a boy, and I'm not sure if that's supposed to be their child. I would imagine maybe that is their child. I'm not sure if it's a nephew or somebody like that. But that's the other thing I'm going to point out is, as I went through her Instagram channel, her grandmother was the only brown, dark-skinned, clearly Black person in all of her videos. I didn't see, oh, she's got quite a number of videos, but as I kept scrolling, I kept seeing what appeared to be her boyfriend. I think I saw another picture of what her mother looked like. Some other people in the family. There was another picture that looked like they were like at a picnic. I didn't see a Black person in sight. So this is what I'm saying, how this goes on with, in Brazil, it's kind of natural. Without even people saying it openly, people do say it openly also, but it's like, okay, we're leaving our Black past behind. That's what it comes across to me when I see so many Brazilian channels, Instagram or Facebook or the old social network called Orkut, what we would call, and they call Orkut, no longer exists. But we used to see this all the time. And I'm saying, this is what I get when I'm watching this video. As nice as this girl is being, as sweet as she's being with her grandmother, she's showing all this affection to her grandmother, who totally, it seems like her grandmother, because of the racist trauma she's experienced growing up in a racist country, you know, she's trying to rebuild her. She shows a lot of affection throughout these videos where her grandmother makes her a part of the videos. The channel is actually called Monique.avó, which means Monique grandmother. And I just get it from the videos. It says to me like, okay, we love our grandmother, but she's going to be part of the past because there's probably not going to be another dark-skinned person like her in the family. That's what I saw. That's my interpretation. Some people, well, why you got to look at it that way? Well, this is the visual that I'm seeing. You know, people fall in love with who they fall in love with, but I'm saying that is just the natural succession progression that you see in Brazil with so many Brazilian families, that you have the people that start off looking like this, and as the generations go on, those darker skinned people just, they become part of the past as they disappear, as they start dying off. I saw this in action in Bahia a lot. I saw it in Sao Paulo a lot. So, you know, this is what it is in Brazil. Let's keep going. Right now, what I want to do is, like, as I said, I'm going to overdub parts of the video, and because there's three voices going in the video, I'm not going to try to do a pure translation. I'm going to just interpret some of the things that they're saying, and then just look at the faces of the grandmother, and you get an idea of how she's feeling and what she's saying. Let me see here. Okay, so before I do the overdub on the video, the As Negas do Zirigundum official Instagram channel, this is what they had to say about this video. It says a young woman has moved social media by sharing reflections on how racism has impacted her 88-year-old grandmother's self-esteem. According to her, her grandmother lived at a time when being Black was considered synonymous with inferiority, and she grew up hearing that because of her color, she was ugly and unworthy. Despite changes in society, these traumas are still deeply rooted in her mind, shaping her perception of herself. People think my grandmother is prejudiced against herself, but in reality, what she's carrying is the weight of a lifetime of discrimination, she said, highlighting how structural racism affects generations. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to do a partial overdub of the video, and then I'm going to interpret the other parts, because as I said, the granddaughter is speaking, it looks like her boyfriend is speaking, and the grandmother is speaking, and it gets kind of confusing. So I'm going to interpret some of this stuff, right? Let's go into the video.
Eu
I'm the
sou
granddaughter
neta
of
da
a
mulher
black woman, and of
negra, e é
course, most of
claro
the
que a minha
time she'll
amiga
just let me
diz:
tie
nossa,
her hair
faz ela
up.
finalizar o
She
cabelo dela
prefers me to do a
preto.
bun
Ela
because she doesn't
prefere que eu
feel
faça um
safe
coque
or
porque não se
secure wearing
sente
her hair
segura usando o
natural.
cabelo dela natural. Eu sou
I'm the
neta da
granddaughter of a
mulher
black
negra,
woman,
e
and
é
of course,
claro
every
que
time I say
toda
she's
vez que eu
beautiful,
falar que ela é
she'll think
linda,
I'm
ela
making
vai
fun
achar
of
que eu tô
her.
debochando dela.
You're beautiful,
Tá muito
grandma.
bonita, vó, sabia?
Are you? Am
Tô,
I? You are, grandma.
tô muito bonito
She says,
por
the
isso que
grandmother says, yeah, I'm
muito
beautiful. She
bonito.
says, you're
Tá
beautiful,
bom.
grandma.
Você é linda, vó.
The other voice says, okay, you're beautiful,
O que você
grandma.
tá falando?
He's
Não
saying
reclama
this,
comigo, não.
grandma.
Vó,
Você
não é.
Grandma
Você
says,
sabe
don't
que eu
make
não
fun of
é
me.
muito linda, vó. Olha que pele maravilhosa.
We're
Eu sou
serious. You're
neta de
very
uma mulher
beautiful. You're
negra
very
e é
beautiful,
claro
grandma.
que
Just look
toda
at your
vez que eu
wonderful
quiser
skin.
levar
He
ela numa
said,
festa, eu vou ter que
I'm the granddaughter of a
convencer
black
ela que
woman. And of
tudo
course,
bem
every
ela
time I
ir
want to
naquele
take her to a
local,
party, I'm
que
going to
ela é
have to
super
convince her that it's
bem-vinda, que
okay
ela
for her
não
to
é
go there,
feia e
that
muito
she's
menos
very welcome,
inferior.
that she's not
Eu
ugly,
sou
and
neta
even
de uma mulher
less
negra e é
inferior.
claro que as pessoas
I'm the
vão dizer
granddaughter
que
of a
minha avó
black
tem
woman. And of course,
preconceito com
people are
ela
going to
mesma,
say that
ao
my grandmother
invés
is
de
prejudiced
entenderem que o
against
que a minha avó
herself
realmente tem é
instead of
trauma do
understanding what my
passado
grandmother
dela.
really
E eu
has
sou
is
neta de
trauma
uma
from
mulher
her
negra e
past.
é claro que eu
And I'm the
preciso ficar
granddaughter of a black
enganando as
woman,
pessoas o tempo inteiro
and
que a
of
minha avó
course
tem
I have to keep
88
reminding people
anos,
all the time that
que
my
ela viveu
grandmother is
numa
88
época
years
em que
old, that
ser
she lived
negro
at a
era
time when being
considerado a
black was
escória da
considered the scum of
sociedade, que
society,
ela cresceu ouvindo que por causa de ser negra
that
ela
she grew
era
up hearing that
feia e
because she
era
was black, she was
inferior às
ugly and
pessoas
inferior to
brancas.
black to
E
white
que por
people.
mais que hoje em
And that
dia
even
as
though
coisas
things are
estejam
changing nowadays, all
mudando,
the
na
prejudice she
cabeça
has suffered
dela
through
está
her life is
enraizado todo o
ingrained in
preconceito que ela
her
já
head.
sofreu durante a vida toda dela.
Okay, so you heard what the granddaughter had to say. I hope you could feel from how the grandmother, how she was looking when they were trying to convince her, like, Grandma, you're beautiful. You know, the guy in the background said, you know, you have wonderful skin. Look at your wonderful skin. Now, I'm not saying they don't sincerely mean this, but at the same time, it's kind of like complex to me because it's clear, number one, that obviously she had offspring with people who were lighter than her, because here it is 2 generations later, and this is what her granddaughter looks like. So this comes into the idea again of what we call the Ham's redemption. You know, this picture again that I always have to point out. This defines Brazil. The dream of Brazil was to become white. Again, what you see in this family is playing out from this picture. The dark-skinned grandmother who had a relationship, just as in the video, you don't see the grandmother's husband or her boyfriend or whoever it was that she had kids with, but most likely she married somebody who was lighter skinned or white in Brazil and produced a lighter skinned daughter. The lighter skinned daughter, in turn, married a white man, producing a white or almost white baby. So we see this playing out in the video that I just went through. Okay, it's clearly obvious. So what I'm saying is, what's going through this grandmother's mind as these people with fair skin are telling her that she is beautiful, even though she's surrounded by this whiteness? You know, she probably, and I'm not going to say for sure, but we just know that this is part of Brazilian society, the indoctrination of brown and, you know, brown skinned black people to want to produce lighter offspring. So she's surrounded by whiteness, and this whiteness is telling her that she's beautiful, even though this same whiteness didn't see didn't see the necessity of keeping the color in the family. So this is how I'm seeing this. It's almost like we're affectionately saying goodbye to our black past because the grandmother's 88. And, you know, of course, we want to see people live as long as they can live, but we know eventually grandmother will pass on. And it just makes me wonder because based on the Instagram pictures that I saw of Monique's channel, I just don't see any black people in her pictures. Look at this picture right here. You know, her grandmother is featured throughout the video, but I'm saying here, this is what her boyfriend looks like. You know, constantly, you know, she consistently features her grandmothers in the video, but you just don't see any other black people in any of her pictures here. There are some other pictures as I go further down, and I'm not going to show everything on here, but I'm saying it's just typical of what I saw all the time that I was living in Brazil, having the darker skinned older people in the family and the younger people, the you know, people in their 40s and 50s, and then the kids that they have or whatever. And the whitening process just keeps going. So it's almost like she's saying, I love you, grandmother. You know, they're not going to see any other black people in the family, but this is just how Brazil indoctrinates the population. They are affectionately saying goodbye to their dark skinned past. I mean, how, yeah, she cares for her grandmother. That is obvious. I'm not denying that. But what I'm saying at the same time, they're moving forward and leaving the black past behind. That's just what I see. Let me know what else you see in that video because my interpretation is mine. And I love it when the comments come in because sometimes people point out things that I may not see, but that's what came to my mind as I'm watching this video. This video, it hit a lot of people differently. I mean, no, I'm gonna say it hit a lot of people who had similar experiences. Let's read through a bunch of the comments here. All of the comments, I'm going to feature the Portuguese first. If you want to go through and check out the comments, I just translated them. So this first comment says, my grandmother suffered prejudice from her own mother, who was white and was basically treated like the maid of the house just because she had the black skin of my great-grandfather and great-great-grandfather. Listen at that. I grew up with this idea that to be the black of the family was to be inferior to my white cousins, to white people in general. I straightened my hair, stayed out of the sun, and had the self-esteem of an amoeba until at the age of 22, or amoeba. Until the age of 22, I decided to go through the transition to accept my color, my mixture, my identity. And whenever I told my grandmother that I was black, she would say, "You're not black, my daughter, you're beautiful." So I would gently correct her, "Yes, Grandma, I'm black and I'm beautiful." She was almost ugly, and she was almost 80 and still felt ugly. Still asked me to cut her curly hair very short, still feels inferior. It's crazy how prejudice can destroy the life of an entire lineage. Man, everything that's in there, I almost everything she said in this particular comment, I have articles of every little piece here that speaks on what she's talking about. I could go through one by one and show you a different article at blackbraziltoday.com was talking about this. Staying out of the sun, the low self-esteem, having a mixed family and the black people in the family feeling inferior to the white people in the family. This prejudice existing even within these mixed families where Brazil says we're all mixed. How can we be racist? Like, it's very clear. In the mixed families, you still have this superior whiteness and inferior blackness. This is what people say. I've posted numerous videos and comments about this. People had to go through the transition, a transition into black identity, to accept their color, accept their identity. You got grandmother telling you you're not black, you're beautiful. So how can you be black? Several articles about that. What else do we have here? She says, "Yes, Grandma, I'm black and I'm beautiful." She was almost 80 and still felt ugly. Had asked me to cut her curly hair, or cabelo crespo, kinky curly hair, very short. I talked about this with several black men, where black women would straighten their hair to avoid the ridicule of natural kinky curly hair, and black men would shave their hair short so as to avoid the ridicule of having this type of hair. She still feels inferior. It's crazy how prejudice can destroy the life of an entire lineage. I can have what she said in this whole comment. I have just articles all over blackbraziltoday.com that basically are saying the same thing that she just said. Next two comments. Wow, what a powerful video. What she said and reproduced is something I still reproduce in relation to myself. Unfortunately, racism leaves these scars on us, even though today is no longer like it was in your grandmother's time. I cried because of this video. I'm seeing this over and over again. People so identified with this video. Racism leaves these scars, even though they say, even though today is no longer like it was in your grandmother's time, but this type of thought is still part of the Brazilian psyche. Like, it's superior to have a white phenotype. This video was extremely strong for me. I identify too much with your grandmother. I can't accept compliments or any quality that people say to me. And this is due to my traumas that happened in my childhood, adolescence, and adulthood, and everything related to my color. I feel inferior to everything. I do therapy to understand that everything I've ever been told is not true. Thank you very much for this video. Your grandmother is beautiful, and what you are doing in her life is extremely important. So I chose these comments specifically because all of these people are identifying with what her grandmother felt. There's other people as I go on that say their grandmother and great-grandmother went through the same thing. My grandfather was the same way. A lifetime of being in a country that diminishes you and dehumanizes you as a person and makes you feel inferior to people with fair skin. Let's go on to the next comment. I'm the granddaughter of a black man who never goes out in shorts, tank tops, or flip-flops, even though it's absurdly hot, because he can't be messy looking. I'm the granddaughter. That speaks volumes, because it's like, if you're black in Brazil, it's like you're already black. Don't go out of the house, looking like you're thrown away or something. You have to go out and anybody who goes out in public should look presentable, but it's doubly important for a black person because they're already black, and society already inferiorizes people who are black. I'm the granddaughter of a black man, and he never shouts at anyone because every time they think he's violent. I'm the granddaughter of a black man who doesn't talk about the ancestral wisdom he was taught outside the home because they think he doesn't know what he's talking about. My grandfather is also 88 years old, and it's a victory that he made it this far. All my love to you and your grandmother. Another person identifying what the video is saying. Next comment. My great-grandmother was a slave. My grandfather was born at the end of slavery. We know that even with the end of slavery, nothing much has changed. I remember the stories they told. When they went to work at lunchtime, they would put a huge clay bowl on the floor with flour and water. That was the food. It's very difficult for me to be such a close descendant of a person who lived through slavery. I cry a lot when I remember the stories. My mother's from the 1940s, and she tells stories about those times when Black people weren't allowed in some places. Identifying again through her ancestors who told her how things were. That part at the bottom right there. Brazil always said we never had segregation, and I say correction, you never had legalized segregation. When you talk to enough people from generations ago, they will tell you that there were areas of certain cities or whatever where Black people were not allowed. Black people were not allowed in this section of the city, weren't allowed in this part of the city at a certain time, weren't allowed in movie theaters, weren't allowed in swimming pools. It goes on and on. Correction, Brazil never had legalized segregation, but it was socially sanctioned. And the memories of these people continue to point this out. This is a very long comment. Let me get into it. Every time I watch this video, I cry so much. Remember my grandmother. Most of her grandchildren aren't white, but they're not dark skinned like her, equal to the video. But my sister took after her father's family, and she's super white. My sister was brought up far away from us. Her father's family took her away when she was very young, and it was only last year that we managed to get back in touch with her. But she doesn't remember much about her mother's family because she's lived most of her life without any contact or photos or anything. So she's still very distant from our part of the family. And several times I've seen my grandmother crying, thinking that she doesn't want to keep in touch with her, my grandmother, because she's Black. I used to laugh without understanding when she said that it was because it didn't make sense to me. But over time, I've grown up, and unfortunately, I'm learning on the spot and understanding more every day about the trauma my grandmother went through. No, my sister doesn't keep in touch with us just because we're Black, but because her father's family disappeared with her when she was so young and had no contact for years. She doesn't feel part of the family. They told her a totally different version of what happened, and she ended up feeling bad for us. They said that my mom dropped her off at the door of their house all dirty and pissy when she was 2 years old and disappeared. But what really happened is that she lived with us until she was 2 years old. But because my mom worked and we lived with grandma, her dad started threatening my mom, saying he was going to report her for abandonment. He said that if my sister, didn't move in with him, he'd have her arrested for various things. My mother even let him because she got scared, and he promised that she'd always be with us. We managed to live with her until she was 6 years old. And from one day to the next, she couldn't visit us because she had a circus class, an English course. Now she can't answer the phone because she's studying. She's not at home right now. Call her later. And out of the blue, poof, they disappeared with her. And she doesn't remember anything about living with us, not even photos or anything do they let us see of her. A lot going on there. So the writer of this particular comment says she used to laugh when she says that she believes that the sister was, separated from the family just because that part of the family was Black. How much of that can you really believe? I've seen other stories of Brazilians who have talked about that, how the Black parent in an interracial couple, when they produce the light-skinned kids, they always make sure the kids get to know the white side of the family while they know hardly anything about the Black side of the family. So I find it hard to believe that race didn't play a factor in the way the girl in the family was separated and went to live with the whiter side of the family. I mean, I've read these types of stories too many times to believe race had nothing to do with that. Like, we look white. It's almost like the daughter moved away. She's super white looking, and she could probably pass. In Brazil, you don't have to pass because it's known that you can have indigenous or African ancestry in Brazil and still pass for white if you're light enough. A lot going on in that last comment. I almost want to go back and read it again. Next comment: the story of your voice. My mother, among other things, was painful suffering. And I'm sorry for that, really. But today I still say suffering, racism. But today we can speak on our behalf of them and our ancestors. Little voice. My mother, you are beautiful. I know that we won't be able to take away what is rooted in their little heads, but we will be here to at least now to say you are beautiful, you are strong, you are our history, and yes, you are winners, warriors, and beautiful. Another person identifying with what the young lady was doing in the video. because of the traumatization that Black people have lived through. These people who are still alive, who were born in the 30s, 40s, 50s, whatever, you know, how is it that Brazil came to be known as a country that doesn't have racism when you hear these stories every day? The next comment says, my mom died this year, 73 years old, an indigenous and Black woman. She stopped traffic because she was so beautiful. I'm 47. I have memories of how much racism she suffered. She was beaten up by racist and envious neighbors. She was mistreated by her domestic partners. She got sick at 40. And until her death, she repeated that she was beautiful because we convinced her of that and erased all the evil she suffered with love. Every one of these comments, you can see people identify with this story. They identify with the traumatization of this Black grandmother. I mean, you go live in Brazil, you're going to see this all the time. And for years, it just didn't matter until in the last couple of decades, Black people in Brazil are perceiving the racist ways that even within their own families, darker skinned people would be treated. That's what I saw all in this video. I mean, look at the grandmother's face here as they are trying to convince her that she's beautiful after a lifetime of telling her she's ugly, she's got terrible hair, she's inferior, and she's not worthy of anything. Let me also share, as I always say, there's almost 4,000 articles over at Black Brazil Today. Check them out. These are some examples of what I'm talking about. Beautiful just like you. A teacher wears the same hairstyle as a student who had been told that her hair was ugly. Check out that story. When will Brazil address racism in its school? Mother reinforces daughter's self-esteem after other child said her hair was ugly because it stands up. Flaunting the privilege of whiteness, a white councilman or city councilman tells a Black protester, I'm handsome and I have blue eyes and you're ugly. Mother requests help from school. White boy says her daughter was ugly because she's Black. Black beauty contest raises self-esteem of contestants in Northwest Brazil. I've heard that my color is ugly. Now I know that being Black is much more than skin color, said one of the winners. Go cut that disgusting hair. The worst things I've ever heard because of having kinky curly hair. It goes on. Mommy, am I going to be white one day? You imagine a young Black boy asking his mother this question. Young woman denounces racism in the Navy, she said I had to wash dishes because I'm Black. What else do we have here? There was something in this. All of these particular audio articles have something that will just catch your attention. 35-year-old Black magistrate in Brazil. People are shocked to see her because the point is she's Black. You know, people look and be like, well, how can she be a judge if she's Black? You go through this whole article. She says ever since she was a child, she had to endure ugly comments at school, but then she noticed something strange. After she passed the competition for magistracy, she noted how the prejudice got even more evident. I said this before. The real racism sits in areas of Brazilian society where Black people are not expected to be. As long as you're poor, you live in a favela, a poor neighborhood, and you're in areas where poor Black people are expected to be, you're not going to feel the real sting of racism. You'll feel it, but not to the degree of when you become successful and you move into areas that are predominantly white and they don't expect you to be there. A lot of people say that's when you experience the real racism that Brazil has. 13 Black women reveal that they revealed things that they experienced that revealed to them that they were not equal to white women in the eyes of society. Here's number 11. The educator at my school said just to me that I should go to Brazil's Independence Day of September 7th. She should go to the parade with her hair tied down. Let me see, because it's curly. What she noted is that she only said that to her and not the girls who had straight hair. People pick up on these little things that people do in society every day that diminish people because they are Black. There's more. Let me see. After assault on journalists at a ritzy hotel in Salvador, Bahia, Blonde tells Black union worker he belongs to an inferior race and shouldn't even be there. Law professor Adilson Jose Moreira. In Brazil, we have the idea that Blacks are inherently inferior. Actress Lucy Ramos turns down another slum character. What she's saying, in novellas and TV programs in Brazil, Black actors and actresses will be consistently cast in parts from lower class or favelas or low income neighborhoods in Brazil. She started turning down roles that put her in these stereotypes, right? She wanted to play a character to play psychologist in another. She says, we blacks always interpret maids, slaves, or we are in inferior positions situations. It goes on and on. Plenty of articles to back up what I'm saying. Look at what's going on here. Racism and self-esteem. Afro-Brazilians share experiences and challenges of living in a society that is a constant assault on one's blackness. So these are people of today's generation and how they are feeling. So imagine what Brazil was like back in the day of the black grandmother. To this day, this black grandmother can't see herself as being pretty. She thinks people are making fun of her when they tell her this. So what has this woman experienced at 88 years that make her feel that way? Anyway, enough said. I want to know what you all thought about today's video. It was powerful to me. I had a lot of things that I felt as I was watching this video. As I said, I don't get the idea that this young woman is exploiting her grandmother for views. I do get the feeling that she does genuinely love and have an affection for her grandmother, but at the same time, there's something that just strikes me as, goodbye to blackness. That's just how I see that. I mean, how else can I see it when we know that this was the dream of Brazilian society for at least the last century and a half? Anyway, I'm going to end this here. Enough said. I could go on and on. If I keep thinking about this, more stuff is going to come to my mind. But what came to your mind as you watched this video? I just wanted to know, what did you think about the grandmother's face, her reactions? What did you think about the whole scenario? What is this video saying to you? Drop a comment in the comment section. Let's get a conversation started on this video. Like this video, share this video, subscribe to the channel. Click on the notification bell so you know when I put up the next video. With that said, I'm going to end this video here and request that you all come back. Check out the next video that I post here at Black Brazil Today.